Hi, I'm Abby Quigley.
I'm Caden Bauer.
I'm Benjamin Azub.
I'm Seth Wellholter, and this is our presentation for the 2021 Gates Capital Management Stock Pitch Challenge.
Amkor Technology, headquartered in Tempe, Arizona, and trading under the ticker AMKR, Amkor is a global outsourced semiconductor assembly and test provider, otherwise known as an OSAT. Today, we will be presenting why we believe Amkor to be a great investment over the next 5 to 10 years, and we will analyze the company's industry, competitive advantages, and valuation.
Our presentation consists of our investment thesis, an industry overview, a company overview, our valuation of Amkor, and our conclusion.
Our investment thesis is that Amkor's advanced knowledge of chip packaging and testing, a strong financial position, and growing demand for Internet of Things devices and advanced semiconductors create an investment that is undervalued and poised for growth. We recommend a long position over the next 5 to 10 years as there is a surge in demand for Internet of Things devices and advanced semiconductors, coupled with increased complexity of advanced semiconductors and Amkor's continued strategy of global acquisitions of smaller OSATs. Some of the risks of this investment include upstream supply chain disruptions, such as the recent semiconductor shortage, a cyclical industry dependent on global GDP and consumer spending, and large capital expenditure investments due to the intense competition in this industry.
A semiconductor is the basic interconnect of all digital and electronic technology. They're very small and each accomplish a specific task. The semiconductor industry is one of the most up-and-coming industries in the world, providing the technology needed for everyday products like phones, computers, and automobiles. The industry is currently valued at over $400 billion, and that number is expected to grow as the number of interconnected devices are projected to triple between 2020 and 2030. This growth can be highlighted by the fact that the industry is currently in what's known as a super cycle, meaning that multiple growth drivers like 5G and autonomous driving are hitting at the same time. For Amkor specifically, this growth can be seen in what's known as a system in package or SiP module. These modules require extensive skill, experience, and equipment as they are used for advanced applications that require sophisticated technology and have space-saving needs like smartphones. Looking at Porter's 5 forces, we can group the semiconductor industry in the very high category because they have strong competition with little margin and high capital intensity. Amkor's revenue comes from their packaging and testing services. As an outsourced semiconductor assembly and test provider, or OSAT, Amkor partners with other semiconductor companies to build semiconductor chips. There are 2 types of companies that they partner with, known as fabless and integrated device manufacturers, or IDMs. Fabless companies like Qualcomm or Broadcom do not have manufacturing capabilities, so they will send their designs to Amkor, who will build the chips. IDMs like Intel or Texas Instruments do have manufacturing capabilities, but they still want to partner with Amkor for overflow and advanced packaging like SiPs. This is because Amkor is the market leader in advanced packaging. In fact, over 60% of Amkor's 2020 revenue came from advanced packaging solutions.
Next, we will be discussing 2 main growth drivers of Amkor. 5G technology is here. In Amkor's experience in semiconductor packaging for communications makes them an ideal partner for 5G applications. 5G is important to the Internet of Things because of the need for a faster network with higher capacity that can meet increasing demand for connectivity. Amkor's toolbox of packaging options offers customers flexible solutions for implementation and integration of next-generation products. Some of the applications where 5G services will be utilized include residential broadband, AR and VR, artificial intelligence, and massive machine-to-machine IoT, just to name a few. These services fall under the communications end market, which accounted for over 40% of Amkor's total net sales in 2020. In addition, Amkor offers electrical, thermal, and mechanical modeling, as well as simulations, testing, integration, and SiP services, all of these will also be utilized in 5G applications. The automotive end market will also be a primary driver of growth for Amkor as automotive integrated circuits transition from wire bond to advanced packaging using SiPs. This shift is advantageous for Amkor because they are the most experienced automotive OSAT and expect the demand for automotive end markets to triple within the next 5 to 10 years. Next, we'll be discussing the company overview of Amkor Technologies. Amkor is an OSAT founded in 1968 and headquartered in Tempe, Arizona. Amkor's main functionality and revenue derives from the packaging and testing of semiconductors. Its 4 end markets are diversified and ever-growing in an increasingly technological-based society. Amkor's business strategy consists of 3 main components. The first is to leverage investments in services for advanced technologies. The second is to improve utilization of existing assets to increase gross margins. We recognize this strategy as a continual competitive advantage, as this improved utilization of assets is leveraged by Amkor to differentiate them from global competitors in a highly competitive, little to no margin sector. The final component of Amkor's business strategy is to selectively grow the scale and scope of operations globally through these strategic investments. Amkor's management consists of Gil Bouton, the current president and CEO, as well as James Kim, the executive chairman and founder of Amkor. Together, these 2 individuals have over 50 years of global experience in the semiconductor industry. Amkor's stock is currently priced at $24.06. Within the last 5 years, Amkor's stock price has increased by over 300%, and we believe Amkor has the global operations scale, management team, and growing end markets for this growth to exponentially increase.
So looking more at the quantitative side, we will be looking at our valuation of Amkor Technology. So the first thing that we did is we made a comparable companies analysis comparing Amkor to other major players in the semiconductor space, including ASE Holdings, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, and United Microelectronics. Some of the key metrics and ratios we really wanted to look at were their market caps, enterprise value, year-over-year revenue growth, price to earnings ratio, EBITDA multiples, price free cash flow, and their PEG ratios. When looking at this chart, there are a few figures that really stood out to us. If we go to the next slide, we'll see that their price to earnings ratio is 15.68, their PEG ratio is 0.38, and their EBITDA multiple is 5.28. This all puts them at the lowest amongst their peers and well below the industry average. We believe that these figures suggest that Amkor is trading at a discount relative to both the market and its competitors while maintaining high revenue growth of 24% for the trailing 12 months. The next thing it is, we made a discounted cash flow analysis. Some of the major assumptions we made is we had a discount rate of 10%, keeping that fairly standardized. We had revenue growing at 8% on a compound annual growth rate over the next 5 years. We had EBITDA and EBIT margins remain the same over the next 5 years. We had the tax rate stay very low. They maintain a very low tax rate because of their outsourcing they do. We believe this will remain low over the next 5 years. And then CapEx remained the same as a percentage of revenue. Finally, we assumed a long-term growth rate of 3%, and this got us to an equity value per share of $29.86, giving us a 23.3% upside from its current price. We believe that Amkor Technology is a great investment because of its high-quality products and processes, such as SiPs and quality assurance programs, as well as the growth and demand in the semiconductor space, as fueled by growth in connected devices and 5G and automotive end markets. Finally, its strong financial position, having little debt, good margins, and strong financial ratios. As Warren Buffett once said, time is the friend of a wonderful company. We believe that in the future, Amkor will continue to strengthen its financial position and widen its moat. Thank you.